All right, Pia. We got a lot to talk about.
I know. Oh,
Got a lot to talk about.
episode.
Let's start with some of the stuff that happened before, besides the show, because there was a good amount of stuff. Okay, so Raquel makes. I'm not sorry. I shouldn't say Raquel. Someone on Raquel's team posted a statement on her Instagram stories, and this is the statement. This was posted on Tuesday. This account was hacked, and with the help of Instagram, it has been reset and is now managed by Raquel's team for the next month while she continues treatment. May is Mental Health Awareness, this is all in caps, month. So Raquel has requested all of the posts focus on raising awareness for mental health organizations, advocates, and removing the stigma surrounding treatment. Okay.
It just seems like a cheap way to...
Okay, and someone else pointed out, who chose this color?
Yeah, thank you. That was bothering
Hot
me
pink.
too.
Hot.
That was bothering me too.
Black and white would have just been more appropriate in my opinion. But besides that, it's like it's a hot button issue.
Yeah.
You're shielding yourself with it.
Mm-hmm.
I get that people do funny things when they want to mess with people. So, okay, I guess a hacker could have gotten in there. And in case you missed it, at one point, Raquel's highlights all had been deleted except for one. And it was the Halloween highlight where Tom was dressed up as her. So I guess a hacker could have done that. I guess a very specific hacker could have done that. I don't know what else they did. Maybe they went around DMing people from the account. I don't know. It, to me, doesn't feel likely, but I just don't buy it.
So I've been trying to think about that as well. Like if I think she got hacked, if she did it. So I'm just so confused in both scenarios. If she was hacked, that's all you did. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they didn't want to do too much. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be a little funny like that. Maybe. If she did it, I'm like, well, why would you do that? Like, why did you only have that highlight reel? Both
are weird.
Both are weird. Both scenarios are weird. But it feels like she did post that mental health thing, and it's not a team member, because I feel like only she would post that pink and black. Like, you know what I mean? She's like very galaxy light. Like, I feel like very like, oh, I think this would be a good cut. Like, I feel like that's very Raquel post.
And Tom
post.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that if a management team would post, like, because that's her whole job is to like see the optics, right? To see the optics and like that's not an appropriate color, unless that's a color of mental health. I don't think so.
I believe it's green. I believe the ribbon is green.
So that's what leads me to believe. I'm like, big question mark on if she was hacked or not. That doesn't really matter to me anyway. But that post, I do believe she made, and she's acting as if someone is her representation is doing it.
Yeah.
Which means she has her phone.
Which means she has her phone. We already got Tom's weird paparazzi moment where he was like, she's in treatment, guys. Yeah. She's in treatment. And we're like, take it. I don't believe anything that comes out of Tom's mouth. Nothing. Not a thing. He's so practiced at lying, and we're watching him lie to our face. So fuck you. Don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth. Yeah. So, and don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth either.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like, Tom's a liar, but she's just as big of a liar. Like, she's lying just as
Yeah.
crazily in these episodes as he is.
Yeah. So, checking that off the list. Next, Howie Mandel. This man, we already knew, like, we already figured it out. Anyone with any kind of entertainment, interview, skills, savviness figured out that the deal was you're not to challenge Tom when he comes on and does an interview with you. But I was weirded out that he thought, oh, I'll admit that when I go on this Nick Vale podcast.
Yeah.
Because he thinks it makes him seem like a victim, I think. He thinks it's like, so he goes on Nick Vale's podcast and he's like, I was just trying to figure out, I don't watch this show. I watch CNN. And when I'm watching CNN, why am I seeing this whole Sandoval? So I'm like, why am I seeing it? Let me have this guy on to talk about it. But I'm told I can't challenge him. But my daughter watches it, but we're told we can't challenge him. But I was just trying to figure out, I didn't get it. Okay, let me just Howie, if you really wanted to find out why it was such a big deal and you wanted to ask the guy that's at the center of it, why would you agree to interview him without any challenges? That doesn't make sense. If you're going to want to get to the core of it, you don't say, yeah, no, I'll have him on, but I won't ask him any questions that confuse me. I won't ask him any challenging questions. I'll just let him talk to me and at me. That actually makes you a hack. That makes you look like a joke.
Right. Like, I mean, I feel like if Howie was going to go this route with kind of exposing the fact that he was not going to challenge, this was going to be an interview unchallenged for Tom, an interview where he got to say his side of it uninterrupted, essentially. I feel like he should have went all in with the reveal. Like, he's only giving part of it. Like, yeah, we knew that he was going to be unchallenged. He should have just been like, and I know he did mention that his drummer's wife works for him, and he was very clear to say that she works for him, because I feel like he's a little bitter that all of this happened. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't taking orders from her, but then he needed to be like, because of that, I did her a favor. It was affecting her husband, the band, and I said, sure, we have a history. I'll let him come on to the show because I'm doing a favor for you. So I said I agreed that I wouldn't challenge. And I shouldn't have, because now
yes,
I didn't realize the gravity of the situation. I wish I had done my research, because then I wouldn't have done such a big favor that made me look bad. That's
because instead he's acting like, now you guys are mad at me. I didn't do anything. I'm just trying to figure, and he won't shut up long enough to hear why it is such a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you would shut the fuck up, Howie, we could explain it to you and explain why it is a big deal and why it is national, international news.
Right.
That's why. Because in the case of Kristen and Jax, we weren't watching the show when Kristen and Jax had hooked up. It happened, like that happened before we even met them.
Right.
We've been knowing these people, and now they're on TV while it's happening. We're watching it. That's why it's so different.
I think the ironic thing about it is he keeps on saying, I just don't get the hoopla of it. But then now he's on
and then he's going on. Yes, it's like, you're a part of it now. I don't get the hoopla. And then you won't shut up long enough to hear what the hoopla is about. So just shut up and we'll answer it.
But he is the hoopla now. Like, he's like,
you are the hoopla.
He's in 5, he's been on 5 different shows at this point. You know what? Because it's just a bunch of hoopla.
It's a bunch of hoopla. It's a bunch of fucking hoopla.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm tired of this man.
Fuck Howie. I don't need to talk about Howie. He doesn't deserve any more of our conversation, because If he doesn't get it, we don't need to get it. He's an asshole.
God, I hate him. Like, and the thing is, I like loved him as a child, and he's ruining Bobby's world for me.
What a like weird career trajectory. Like, he has totally changed. My God.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing, the finale trailer. Okay, so it gets leaked. And now the account that leaked it is doing this whole like, haha, I'm one of these like menace to production.
I know, that was weird.
Things where they're like, you can't stop me. Like they've turned now the account went from like 300 something followers. I haven't checked, but I'm sure it's up to like 5,000 followers. Do you want to check?
Look.
See how many?
Yeah,
see how many followers they have now. This happens periodically with accounts where they just love to like be salacious, and this is how they grow their following, and it works, it's effective. But because it was leaked, then Bravo had to
You're very close with the number.
5,000?
You're close. It's 4,261 at this point.
Yeah. See? It'll keep growing because they're promising to keep dropping trailers. People are now scrambling to figure out who it is. I don't personally really care to find out who it is. It could be anybody. It could be I think it could be a PA that worked on Vanderpump Rules. It could be somebody who happened to like drop off food as they were watching coverage of it or something. I don't know. Like that, I'm making that up. But it's like it could be anybody.
Yeah.
But because what they did was they gave out different versions of episodes to, I think they're trying to, the prediction is they're trying to figure out who's leaking shit, because as we know, the reunion had a bunch of details leaked, like someone got in a fight, a bunch of the details from the reunion got leaked, and it was pissing off production. So the trailer that got leaked had parts in it that weren't a part of the official trailer that was released. If you missed it, I did do a mashup of the official release trailer and the leaked trailer, just because we obviously want to see every single thing we can.
Beautiful work, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. It's on my Instagram if you missed it. But what we get in the fucking finale trailer is now we know we're gonna see. That's when we're gonna see the footage that they picked from the pickup when they picked back up after wrapping. We're gonna see Tom and Raquel filming their goddamn scene, and they're fully touching each other's faces, saying shit like, we said we wouldn't do this if it wasn't worth it. And she says she's laughing, and she's not laughing, she's smiling and chuckling and saying it turned out horribly wrong. And it's so disturbing. It's so disturbing because you feel like you realize just how real the affair was for them to be that comfortable doing that. It's like, oh, you guys really have been having an affair. Then watching this past episode, it's even worse. Like, it's so fucked up.
Honestly, I'm a little I'm happy that the trailer did come out, though, like Bravo officially put the trailer out, because I think I did need to see that.
This much time.
Because I need to like know what I'm getting into. We knew, but it's like, even I saw some comments from Katie and Sheena on other people's posts on the trailer, and they were saying, I'm shook. Like and they've seen this.
Yes.
And they're like,
they said that on Ryan Bailey's post. When I saw that, I was like, they're shook?
Like, it's just so much different. Like, did they get the last episode?
They had to. They watched all of the shows before they did the reunion.
Okay, because I thought I might have heard Sheena at one point say that or maybe Lala say that they got all of it, but maybe they didn't get that last, the new footage, possibly. But I don't know. We'll find out in the reunion, obviously. But Yeah, it was just
Dude.
really hard to see Tom talk to Ariana the way that he does in that trailer. Just so cold. Like he hasn't been creating a life and home with her for the past decade. It was just disgusting, and it further makes me like dislike Schwartz because he was condoning all of this, and I felt no sympathy for him in that trailer.
None. I felt happy when I saw him realizing, like, fuck, this man has screwed me over. I was like, good. Now you realize what he has done to you and that Katie was right all along.
Yeah, she was. And Sandoval really tried, and with the assistance of his BFF, Schwartz, tried to destroy Katie this past season and make it seem like, gaslight her and make it seem like she's the cause of all the problems. And it's so clear in watching this, even with, I don't think that either of us would have like bought into it without Sandoval. Like what he was doing, you know what I mean? Even if the Sandoval didn't exist, I feel like we would have saw right through it. Because like even when we were recapping season 3, we were seeing him do that. Like we've had his number for a while on the gaslighting Katie front, but I'm glad everyone else is on board. It feels good when everyone is collectively like, no, you fucking suck.
The vindication for Katie, I'm so happy she finally gets it.
Yes,
because this has been like a decade of her having to, I mean, Sandoval has come for her so hard. I mean, so is Jax too. It's like she just wanted, heaven forbid, she just wanted her boyfriend to treat her well. But I mean, she shouldn't have obviously stayed with Schwartz. Clearly, that was, there's that responsibility, obviously. But I'm not going to constantly blame. Okay, let me put it this way. I see a lot of people saying that Ariana should have left Tom. Yeah, and I should have left my ex, and I blame myself constantly. The amount of guilt you're going to feel after you leave a relationship that you should have left years before you did is enough. It's enough punishment. You don't need to be reminding that woman or that man over and over again that, well, you could have left a long time ago. You should have left a long time ago. Trust me, the years that you waste, you're going to be running over in your head is plenty punishment. The person that took advantage of you and treated you like shit, let's get more mad at them. Let's focus our energies on that because they're the fucking jerks.
I don't personally see why you or any other person in a toxic relationship, because sometimes you don't know that it's toxic in that moment. Like, and we're always told that when you're in a relationship, it's work. So sometimes you think that like you're supposed to work at it. Yes, like it gets to a point where it's like, are we stagnant? Are we not progressing? But like, to shame someone for like shame Ariana for trying to work on the relationship before just leaving it, I think is absurd. Like, why are we shaming you guys? Like, you worked on your relationship, the other person wasn't working on it, and then you guys left. Like, they're the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
They're the asshole.
And in this case, Tom is sick.
Yeah.
Like, he's a sick man.
Yes. Yeah, and we're obviously, when we get into the episodes, there's just so many.
Oh my God.
Like, I just don't know on a human level. Like, okay, I understand what he's saying in the sense of like, oh, we grew apart, we should have broken up, we're not in a loving relationship, all that. But that doesn't mean you just automatically shut off your like moral compass and you're like, you see a person in need, you see a person struggling, you just stop having empathy or like love for that person, or like just like, even if it's like like, you know what I mean, like Ariana going through her grandmother's stuff, like you just like don't care about that because you don't want to be with that person anymore. Like,
this goes back to season. Well, let's even think about it. When it was her dad's the death. What do you say? The death anniversary? Is that what you say?
Yes, like the anniversary of his death.
Yeah, and he was like, "I hear you, and I'm always going to be there for you, but we're going to be like running over trucks and like demolishing stuff. So I'm going to go to Vegas anyway." That's season 4, right?
Yeah.
So she says in this episode, when my dad died, we weren't even together, and he thought it was so important that he be with me.
Yeah.
Because he was in another relationship, and he likes to court women when he's with someone else. And then once he gets them, and when you think about it, we just revisited season 3, and the way he gaslit Ariana to just trust him no matter what.
Yeah.
It's not a tough sell with this group either. Like,
Jax
doesn't know anything. Schwartz doesn't know anything. All these crazy people. I'm the one who can trust. I'm the sane one. Fine. Fair. So he's gaslit her into thinking that he's the only one to trust. Trust me wholeheartedly, no matter what I do or say. So, and don't question me on camera at this group level, because it's toxic. So she's been doing that since the beginning of their relationship, which is only been on this show. And so watching it still happening now, it's like that you've been really taking advantage of the fact that you set up this dynamic from the beginning.
Right.
And so even now you are like, well, I mean, I didn't have to be there for her when she wanted me there, when, she was sad about the death of her dad. And so now her grandma died. So like, I don't really need to be there for that either. And then I found that clip from season 6. I literally woke up to the scene and I hear her going, "The thing is, Tom, I need to spend time together in order to be intimate. And I can't do that if you're like not making me a priority." And I'm like, dude, that is from season 6. Where she's saying, I can't have sex with you like you want me to if you're not going to be around and you're not going to put me first. That is from fucking season 6, dude.
And she's not really asking for a lot. Quality, like, she's not some chick you picked up at the club and you guys are just going to have sex and then that's it. You're in a partnership. So, once the honeymoon phase is over, what else is there? And if you're not putting in that work, that quality time, and she's not being passive about it. She's literally telling you what she needs to be able to get what you need, which is more intimacy. But you refuse to provide that part.
And then complain.
When
she doesn't give the part.
So you just want her to just have sex with you and then you just go hang out with Schwartz all day and do whatever you're doing. And that's it. And you provide her no emotional stability, nothing that she's asking back in return. Okay.
And now this Howie Mandel interview is even more disgusting because he already saw how these episodes were going to play out and and wanted to get ahead of it and did this interview. And none of it's tracking to me at all. No. It's like, I don't think she's the one who wanted to keep the reality of the relationship off TV. I think you did, Tom.
Oh,
it's clear that you did.
I thank you for bringing that up because I 100% agree with that. And you know why I think you're right about that? Because in season 3, so you guys, everything is there. The whole relationship is documented, which is like, again, another reason why this is so like, where people are so invested in it. Go back to season 3, Miami girl. Like, he literally, like, almost got caught in that, got away with it. And I feel like from that moment on, they kind of made this, like, pact that they would be, like, a team. Like, when they, like, high-fived each other behind him and Ariana. And I feel like they always wanted, like, they've always made sure to keep like, they, like, from that point on, they're like, I'm a team. We're a team. Anything that's in our relationship that's bad, we're not going to allow them to see it. And I think he started that because he cannot have another moment like that happen, like, to keep his, like, what he's been doing this whole time, and it's been working. And Jax is the one who's been trying to out them about that, and we just don't listen to Jax. So we ignored it. Essentially, like, honestly, we just ignored it. Jax said it on the last season he was on, the last reunion. He said that you guys hide all of your problems, and everybody knows it on this cast. You don't like let anybody know about your problems, and when the cameras roll, this is what you present. And it's true.
More that, and I think Ariana is willing to have the conversations, but Tom, you can see the look on his face when she's confronting him. It's like, he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This isn't the deal. So what he did on that Howie Mandel interview was sick.
Yeah.
It was just another way to really betray her. And he did her so dirty. He has treated her so horribly. And
yeah,
I can't, when people try to come in the comments and say things that she's done in like season 3 that was shitty or whatever, like the way she came on the show, she was X, Y, and Z. It's like, but she's evolved so much from that. She's been on the right side of history so much. She's made amends, as have a lot of them. And some of them haven't done any growth whatsoever. Schwartz, Sandoval, they've devolved. They've gone the opposite direction. They've gotten worse because we've applauded them and not given them any sort of punishment for their. In fact we've said Katie and Stassi and all the other women are terrible, while they've been like, yeah, right. We're the victims here. We're just trying to have fun because that's society, and I played into it, I'm sure. So yeah, no, they're monsters. And let's get into the episode because it's just juicy. It's juicy and delicious.
It is juicy.
Why? Well, I used my code yet again to buy the exact same pair of cozy pants from Cozy Earth. So now I'm going to have 2 pairs of Cozy Earth cozy pants. But they're so fucking comfortable that they're the kind of cozy pants you have on that you're like, oh, I guess I have to wash these, but then I have to wear the other pants. So there's no wonder Cozy Earth has been featured in Oprah's favorite things. Okay. All products are made from responsibly sourced viscose from bamboo. That is why I've never felt anything like it. Because I've never, until they sent me the sheets that they have, the bedding that is made from viscose from bamboo, the temperature controlled sheets. I'll never get over that. I get into these sheets and I just am like, how? What is this? How? All products, by the way, come with a 10-year warranty. Still don't get it. How do they do that? They also do make bedding that comes in linen. I might have to try that. I'm going to have the entire Cozy Earth line using my code. Am I the only one using my code? Y'all got to use my code. And Cozy Earth has those premium bath products, also made from viscose from bamboo. They offer their Lush collection and their new Waffle collection. Cozy Earth has provided an exclusive offer for the listeners and me. 35% off site wide when you use my code She Speaks. So CozyEarth.com, use my code She Speaks at checkout to get 35% off.
Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
Okay, so Lady and the Glamp. All right.
What was that place?
What was that place?
What was that place?
And what was the intention of it? We'll get to the part that really just darked me out. But okay, we'll get there. But while they're there, James goes to Lala's office, and so James is like, well, beach day didn't go according to plan. And Lala's like, look, I don't love the throwing of the drink, but when it's happening to Schwartz, not so upset about it. And we all agree, right?
Yeah,
we're all in agreement there.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
cool.
like, yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
Okay, we're good. Yeah,
we're
thank
good.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And but then Lala goes, don't even get me started on Tom Sandoval. And she goes, by the way, you know Raquel spent the night at his house that night, right? And I love the way James goes, how do you know about that? Like he was like, I don't know what to say here. Like, I'm not quite sure. What am I supposed to be doing here? And the way they do this rewind, fast forward, retelling of it is art.
Thank you. I was like,
well done.
I'm like, this episode deserved
an Emmy nom.
An Emmy nom. Yeah, I was like, the editors, like
the
that was
voiceover,
good.
the way they slip into Lala's voiceover. She's like, okay, here's how it goes, and like they go zzz, and they zip it back, and then it was really, really good.
I was very entertained by that. There was good storytelling. I followed everything perfectly. It was just chef's kiss.
Yeah, so it starts out with it goes to Katie making the sandwiches. And did you see the animated version of this scene that I posted from Cadoo's?
No.
It was so good. It's like I can't actually even see the scene without seeing that. It's the Instagram account. It's a great Instagram account. It's KADOOZE. It's a nod to when Ramona can't say kudos and she goes, what do you say, Cadoo's? And he'll take scenes and he'll use animation, so it's so good. I'm going to actually put it up right now because
I need to see that. I've been really getting off on all the Bravo accounts. Like I posted that one that was an animation. And then the Barbie ones get me.
Oh yeah, those have been really good. Okay, so let me show you right now.
Can't believe that Tom Sandoval had Raquel over when Ariana's away.
I know.
In the jacuzzi as well.
What?
And she stayed all night, yeah?
I know.
Are you lying?
Believe that.
Are you spreading rumors?
Marky, come on.
How does he know?
I told him earlier.
Well, what do you know?
Raquel was late because she was hungover.
I have seen this account.
Anyway, so I live for Ken coming in on cue. I live for
okay.
I mean, he had right. There's no
Ken.
That's how it had to happen.
Okay,
There's
Ken
no
deserves a little Emmy nomination as well.
He
said, "My cue is all right." I can't believe I was like, I loved every part because
and then he just leaves. And he's like,
Lisa
come on.
told him to do that. Lisa told him because that's some shit she pulled on Beverly Hills. She's like, she's missing being on Beverly Hills. She's like, okay, I haven't had an opportunity.
And then she
to
just
do
goes.
this.
And then she just goes, I know, right? I know. Mm-hmm. And then he leaves and he goes, come on, to the dog. That's it. He doesn't do anything else. That's all he does. It's so funny. And then they rewind it. They rewind it back to when they're at the food tasting. And she comes in looking, as Lisa says, like a bag of shit. And she's like, I went back to Tom's and we went in the hot tub. So I spent the night, and I just love Lisa being so blown away by what she's saying. And she's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this isn't a thing. This isn't like, don't like, maybe I like Lisa's probably just like, just lie, just make something up. Like, just don't say this.
This was the moment Lisa said, I will turn on you now, Raquel, because I just, in the last episode, Raquel was defending your ass to Katie.
Yep.
And I don't like to look stupid. So now I'm going to have to take you down.
That's exactly what it was.
That was Lisa just like, she's like, let me dust off my old housewives, like shit stirring. Here we go. Buckle up, babies. You don't want to go against Lisa's really good at that shit. Ooh.
I love like Lala's voiceover. She's like, Lisa can smell bullshit, so she calls Sandoval, and I love Lisa will not tolerate Sandoval calling her dude.
Oh right, yeah,
absolutely. I'm not dude. And then Sandoval's like, come on, man, with the whole like the dipped out. She dipped out, dipped out. He keeps saying dipped out because he heard himself. He knows what he thought he said, but she's like, she said she spent the night. Yeah, dipped out means like spent the night. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, like no, it doesn't. And Lisa's like, well, I have to ask the young ones later. I'm gonna
Yes.
notate that.
And
Dip
so then
out.
they do like, so then they go like, fast forward to her asking Katie, what does dipped out mean? And then she's like, it means left. And they're like, that's what I thought. And then they go rewind back to her talking to Sandoval. And he goes, with the whole Schwartz and Raquel thing. And Lisa says, no, Schwartz and Raquel thing is so last week. Now it's Schwartz, Raquel, and Sandoval. I'm like, girl, you don't even know what you just said.
I am happy though she did like stop him, because what he was trying again, Schwartz knew, because he said that he was not their decoy. This episode proves that he was.
He was.
Because I don't even think Schwartz was there. I
Oh.
don't.
Oh.
I don't think Schwartz was there. I don't.
I don't think Schwartz was there either. Now that
I do
you
not
say
think
it.
Schwartz was there.
Girl, I don't think Schwartz was there either. Now that you
No, he wasn't.
said that.
He was not there.
Ooh, that just made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, that man was not there.
Yeah.
But they forgot to train Raquel in how to lie like them, because she wasn't supposed to go into that meeting and say that she spent the night. Like,
Yeah, they didn't go over those they just assumed she would know.
yeah, don't assume.
No, she's not smart enough yet, guys. You haven't brainwashed her properly yet. And so then James goes, I went to this like smoking lounge place with Sandoval the day before, and he told me the story. Sandoval purposely uses the term dipped out with James.
Yeah.
Because he'd already used it with Lisa and was like, fuck, I messed that up. So I got to make sure I use dipped out when I talk about it with
Like,
James.
Yeah, like that's his slang for everything. So that way it's like, dipped out. Yeah, see, like there's nothing
Dipped
weird
out.
about
That's
me
how
saying that, because that's just what I say for people who they're like
they go near the room.
They're ending the night and they're going to go to bed. They just dip out.
You dipped out, right? You dipped out.
Say it enough,
Okay.
makes it true.
Yep. So then Lala tells the story about she's like, and then I was at this barbecue when Ariana found out about her grandmother dying and Sandoval wouldn't leave. And then they rewind to this dinner that we didn't get to see. They're doing it in a flashback form with Christina, Lala, Lisa, and Katie. And Lala's telling them about the whole like, yep, I was there. And Ariana was calling him furious that he didn't leave for another 2 hours. Her grandma died. Okay. So Lala's final voiceover in this whole thing. The voiceover work is fantastic.
Fantastic. Top tier.
She goes, Sandoval is seen dancing with Raquel at the Abbey alone at 1 a.m. Sandoval stays at a party with Raquel while Ariana is at home dealing with her grandmother who has died. And Raquel spent the night while Ariana is out of town. This leads me to only one logical conclusion. And then it comes back to her saying, I think Sandoval has a thing for Raquel. And then James looks very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like James is not ready to be on camera saying this about Sandoval yet. Like, that's how big of a thing this is. Like, it's like, we don't have proof of this yet. I almost wondered too if like James thought Ariana was okay with it.
I don't think that. I just think that Sandoval is such a big presence in James's life. Like, think about how much Sandoval has inserted himself in James. Yeah, like he paid for the fireworks at Rochella? Yeah, Rochella.
Yeah.
And he paid for part of the engagement party. Like, he's made himself a big brother figure to James that, like, I think that he doesn't need. I think that James is in the same boat as Ariana, where they, even though people keep bringing this to them, they're like, they would not do this to me.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Well, I was like, the last time he talked about a woman like that was when he was talking about Ariana.
It is true
that they have this reference point, and it's Ariana. Ariana is the reference point. Oh, it's sickening. All right, back to the glamping site. Raquel toasts all of them being there and calls them in her confessional. She says, "These are my forever friends."
God, like that was so eerie because obviously we know the only friends that she has left out of that crew is Schwartz and Sandoval. And it's just like, so, like, you're going to say like, that makes me think, so what was your end game, Raquel? You're having this affair. Apparently you guys are in love, right? You and Sandoval. But you're on camera saying that this group of people, which includes Sandoval's current girlfriend, Ariana, that they are your forever friends. In what world can you be with Tom in the way that this relationship came about, and still be a forever friend to Ariana? Because like at some point you guys are planning, because that was the plan to be together. So like, how would that, like in your head, how would that translate? How would that work? How would that look? Like, I'm genuinely curious of how she thought this was going to work. I really want her to tell me that at the reunion. How did you think this was going to work? I would like your Venn diagram. I would like your proposal. I would like your friendship contract with Ariana after this. Like, how was that going to fucking work for you? Like, I need to know. Like, because you're on camera. It's not like saying that this girl is your forever friend. How was that gonna happen? Like, I need to know. I need to know.
So Sheena asks Ariana how it was like going back home. And obviously Ariana's like, horrible. And she cries, talking about like, every time I go home, I always made a point to see my grandma. And she starts crying and it's awful. And dude, Tom Sandoval pretends to wipe tears.
Thank you. I didn't see a tear.
No tear.
He even missed his eye. It was like he like wiped his forehead. Like it wasn't even. And then the thing is, if your girlfriend is, who consoles her? Sheena. Like, get up, go around to the table, and hug your girlfriend who's crying and grieving. You couldn't be bothered to leave a party. You couldn't be bothered to fly there with her. You can't get up and just give her a hug? Like, what kind of person are you?
And she's lost Charlotte. She's lost her grandma. She even says in her confessional, "I'm barely hanging on."
Oh,
this has been a summer. So, okay. Then they get to this part. This part is very difficult for the viewers because it's very telling how programmed Sandoval has her. She says, did I miss anything while I was gone? And Raquel goes to tell the story of being in the hot tub and whatever. Ariana is excusing everything right along with the story, like before the details even come up. So Raquel will be like, well, after the beach day, I went back to the house and we were in the hot tub. And Ariana will be like, yeah, like we always do. And then she'll be like, and then, instead of like, I crashed at the house and, I went into the guest room. It's like, well, yeah. Instead of like being on the couch, like, why would you be on the couch? You'd be in the guest room. It's just like, it's very much avoid any possibility of there being questions there. Very defensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she's filling in the blanks before anyone can. Yeah.
She was prepped. Exactly. And it was very clear in that scene. Like, I completely caught that too. Sandoval knew that he fucked up. Like, people were talking. And he, like Jax would do it back in the day, was getting ahead of it. And he talked to Ariana off camera. He said, this is what it looks like optic-wise. Because, again, that's how the relationship has been running for the past 10 years. Katie's out here making it seem like we have an open relationship, and because she hates Raquel so much, she's making it seem like we're in some weird throuple with her. And so we're going to have to talk about it on camera, and we got to control the narrative. And Ariana's like, again, she's trusting everything he's saying, taking for face value because that's her partner. Why shouldn't she? And she's like, yeah, I know this group. They do like to do that. she always has to kind of like have a little distrust in this group because they've all turned on each other. So she's like, right now, Katie could be, what she's been being told is Katie is just seeing red. Like she has tunnel vision. She hates Raquel at all costs. And even if that means like hurting me in the process.
Yep. That's exactly it. Brock, though, did you catch this? Brock clocked that they lied.
Yes.
And he was, and so I could tell he wanted to, I could see him feeling like there's more to this, which makes me feel like Raquel might have hit on him. It makes me feel like he got a vibe from Raquel at some point and was a little like, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, think about it. Raquel was staying with Sheena and Brock when she was transitioning from the breakup with James. So Raquel has proven that, you know, she's in a place right now where she's wanting to get attention from men, whether they're available or not. Yeah. And I could see them hanging out like they did that pizza run at like a really weird time of night, 2 a.m. or something. Like they were spending alone time together, and I could see her misconstruing or trying to test the waters of seeing, hey, are you interested?
And like in a way that's not too obvious, but in a way that maybe Brock was like, oh,
that's weird.
A little weirded out by that.
I mean, on Sheena's podcast, she said Raquel had sex in Sheena and Brock's bed. That's really weird. And the thing is, Sheena also said that Raquel, it's not like Raquel didn't have access to another bed. Exactly. She was staying in their guest room. So she could have absolutely had sex in her guest room. Exactly. But she chose to have it in Brock and Sheena's bed, which almost like, it feels like she was testing boundaries.
Mm-hmm. So I think when he clocked it and was kind of jokingly laughing, like, you guys didn't have to do that. You didn't have to kind of mess yourselves up there when you lied. I was like, I can feel like he's a little bit more skeptical and suspicious about this whole thing. But Sheena's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And you know how Sheena is. It's so funny because everybody thinks that Katie has tunnel vision. It's really Sheena right now. And I don't think she's meaning to do it, but like she's very much helping Sandoval in putting the blinders on Ariana by like focusing it on Katie, which is what he's been doing all season. Like Katie's the problem. Katie's, you know, this and that. And
Sheena's been perfect cover.
Sheena's been like literally assisting him without even knowing. Yep. I feel like also to your point, if Brock did have an inclination, he came off such a bad season last year that I don't think he was willing to even put himself out there in case he was wrong, or even if he was right, like how can he prove anything? Like I think for him, he's like, I'm just trying to stay under the radar. I caused a lot of commotion last season and I'm trying to like be on the cast next season. I'm just trying to play it cool here.
Mm-hmm. Why? So I moved in with my sister in 2020, and I've always hated the backyard. It's just so dry and dead. She's lived here forever, but she's not like bougie and annoying like I am. Planting grass is quite expensive, and it's a lot of water, and it's a lot of upkeep and difficult to do. But I thought, man, if only we could like plant some trees and be like Yolanda Foster and have a bunch of lemons trees and stuff. But it just seemed like a task that we could never accomplish. Literally, along comes a sponsor. I call my sister and I said, we're going on fastgrowingtrees.com right now. And we've been having a field day on this website. So let me tell you about fastgrowingtrees.com. Their plant experts curate thousands of easy to grow plants, shrubs, tree varieties for your unique climate. Because you see, sometimes you don't know exactly what works for where you live. Not to worry, because on fastgrowingtrees.com, they give you customized recommendations based on your area. Yeah. Plus, their plant experts are always available to help keep your plants growing healthy throughout the season and beyond. I think that's super cool. And the best part is you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to haul heavy plants or anything like that, because with fastgrowingtrees.com, you order online and they're delivered to your door in a few days. And with Fast Growing Trees 30-day Alive and Thrive guarantee, you know everything will look great fresh out of the box. So join over 1.5 million happy Fast Growing Trees customers. Go to fastgrowingtrees.com/bravo to get 15% off your entire order. Get 15% off your entire order when you go to fastgrowingtrees.com/bravo. That's fastgrowingtrees.com/bravo for 15% off your entire order.
Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
All right, let's take a break from the ranch. They give them Lala photo shoot. They finish up the photo shoot and Christina's like, were Satchel and the Don like freaked out? And Katie goes, yeah, Satchel is traumatized and he couldn't believe how mean everyone was being to me. I'm like, yeah, that's the appropriate response, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they left the beach to go over to this bar and then these hooligans come storming in and Tom Sandoval goes off all crazy. And they talk about how unhinged Tom Sandoval was. And Katie's like, he's just so fixated on the fact that I said that they're in this open relationship. And then Lala interrupts and goes, listen, it's not that far-fetched, okay? Because like I hooked up with Ariana when he was right there in front of him in his car. And like, had we been in a bedroom, he probably would have joined in. And Katie's big thing is like, but I didn't say that. But Lala's like, but look, now that it's out there, it's not that absurd. Like, it's not like this huge accusation that's just out of nowhere, makes no sense. And I do agree. I do. Yeah.
No, I agree too.
Isn't, right? It's like, relax, guys.
Yeah.
But Lalas Confession is like, something just does not feel right about the Raquel Sandoval friendship.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the rumors that were coming out, different content creators and podcasters were saying that the cast knew and kept it all under wraps and stuff. It's like, no, they knew they knew like this. This is what they suspected. And this is why it's so crazy to watch. I didn't know they were going to be this blatantly open about their suspicions. I didn't realize it was like this, where you're going to have Lala. I mean, I love a good told you so, I knew it moment. And so I would be so obnoxious if I was Lala and Katie right now. Lala's doing it, but Katie's not. But I would be like, I fucking told you. Like, this must feel so good. You've got Lala going there. She's like, I know firsthand what it's like when you are really close friends with the dude and you drink a lot and you end up sitting on that dude's face. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy that they were this aware of it and onto them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When Katie, mostly when Lala was saying after the fact, like, oh, we had some suspicions, a part of me was like, did ya? Because I was like,
right?
Like, I didn't, like, it's like, it's so easy to say, like, oh, yeah. Like, like, hindsight is 20/20 when you use properly, Tom. Like, that's the correct usage of it. Like,
yes.
Like, so yeah, like, yes, you could obviously go back in your head and think of little moments. You're like, oh, that does seem weird. So that's what I was like, is that what you're like alluding to? But no, they legitimately, it's on record, on camera, we're putting things together. I do appreciate, though, that as much as Katie and Lala had their suspicions, and they did try to broach it to the group and to Ariana in a very soft way, no one wanted any part of it. And they're like, listen, this is my opinion. If y'all don't want to take it, we're done with it.
Yeah.
Like, but I said it.
I said it.
I'm done. If you guys don't want to, I can't make you guys feel this way. This is just I'm going to say it one time. And if you guys don't want to heed my warning, all right.
Okay.
I said it, though.
I'm going to make fun of Christina again, because that's like my favorite thing to do. Christina's like, so guys, I'm hosting a product launch party at TomTom. I can't wait for you guys to be there. And I'm like, oh, okay.
This is why.
It.
This is why
you're here. This is why you're here. And that's why you were really freaked out when Raquel was like, Sheena does not want you guys near the wedding party stuff. She's like, me too? Oh, now I get it. And then she goes, guys, I just love like this creative stuff. Like I love doing like the shoots and the sandwich shop. Like this is women supporting women. And you could tell both Katie and Lala were like, yeah, what? She's like, I love it. I'm like, shut up, Christina. Get out of here. Like, you can't just only come on the show to promote yourself and be boring.
And a backstabber.
Like, you came on as Katie's friend, and then you would let Rachel come to the party.
The thing is, like, you're backstabbing, but like being boring about it. Like, at least be juicy about it.
Be entertaining. God,
yeah, like
bored.
you're like backstabbing and then like not doing anything. Like it's like a weak backstab. It's a scratch.
A weak backstab. It's just bye. All right, so Sheena and Ariana talk in one of the yurks, I guess it's called. And Sheena tells Ariana about the lunch she had with Allie, and like Katie's saying she has an open relationship. And it was disappointing as to how much Ariana believed that Katie was like trash talking her relationship and whatever. I was kind of bummed about that. But it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't fucking matter. But here comes the confessional that just stabs you in the heart. She says, I get it. Katie hates Raquel. But like, Raquel is my friend, and she is someone that is kind and sweet and loyal and just a delight since the day I met her.
I know.
It's so brutal. It's just like it's because I didn't realize there were going to be all these opportunities for Ariana to have to defend Raquel like this. I didn't know that this was going to be like such an embarrassment for her.
Yeah.
I had no clue. I didn't know that like this was a storyline. Like, are Tom and Raquel hooking up? I didn't know that Ariana was going to have to be like, no, guys, Raquel is amazing. And only for this to play out the way it did. So it's even more of a fuck you.
I just genuinely feel like Ariana like was the most blunt. Like as much as it was hurtful for like Tom to do that to her, she does know he's capable of it, right?
Yeah.
So a part of her like I don't think she's like I feel like it was just I really feel like what really hurt it was Raquel. And that's why people need to understand, like, they were very close at this time. And Raquel kind of made sure of it. Like, she's just, that's the upsetting part. Like, if you're going to do this, like, have a little class and distance yourself from this girl. Like, why are you so, like, it just made the reveal so much worse that it was Raquel.
Yes.
It really did. And then, like, and also, Ariana has been in this game. She's been on the show for quite a long time. So she knows what she said in her confessionals. She knows what the topics of conversation was this entire season. So she knows that she's going to look stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's stupid. I think that, you know what, I understand exactly what happened and how, and she's not stupid for believing her friends are her friends. Exactly. They're stupid for doing it to her. But I can understand her feeling like she looks stupid.
Yep. Dinner time, though. Dinner time at the ranch. Raquel's eating and she bites her lip and Schwartz goes, oh my God, it's only going to exacerbate her taste for blood. And they're like, what do you mean? And he goes, Raquel has a type. So Brock and Tom, be careful. She has a type. She likes men that are taken. Now, him making this joke right in front of Ariana is so evil.
Yeah.
And I think, because so he made the joke when they were in front of the food truck. You know, I think she has a crush on someone else.
Yeah.
I feel like he's doing this, like, he doesn't like having this secret. He wants Tom to fucking come out with it. He's like, stop making me hold on to this. And it's like his little bit of power he can yield over Tom in this moment.
Yeah.
But it's like Ariana is right there. That is how little respect you have for her. It's,
I mean,
and I don't know if I think maybe he feels like it's his way of being like, can you, Tom, like say something, do something? But it's like, she's fucking right here.
I mean, the thing is, he couldn't even have the respect for his wife. Like, I don't know why we thought he would be able to have it for Ariana.
Yeah.
The only person I've seen Tom, like, literally have unwavering loyalty and respect for is Sandoval, who does not deserve it at all. There's, yes, a couple of times they'll argue here and there, but it's, like, rare.
Then they have this whole thing where they, Raquel talks about what the best parts and worst parts of 27 were, and Tom goes on and on about how it's so great seeing how strong you are, and it's just gross. It's just a gross. And then Sheena gets the text from Christina about how she's invited to that like skincare launch thing, and Raquel's like, I wasn't invited. So Schwartz is like, you want to be my date? We're still doing this? We're still making the jokes? Okay, cool. But then they go over to the fire, and Raquel talks about aging out of pageants.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she's like, it was always my dream to be Miss California, and it was a big motivation for me to be a role model for girls and women. And like the brainwashing this chick had about these pageants, like I don't know, like what her parents told her about these pageants, and she says in her confessional, she's like, I've always been the good girl, but now that I've aged out of pageants, I don't have to so much worry about my reputation. So honestly, I feel like I'm kind of making up for lost time right now.
I feel like she's like telling on herself.
When the fuck did you film this confessional, girl? Like, what?
I know, it's so crazy, like the writing's on the wall the entire time. Like she's like dying, and also like as much as Schwartz is dying for the secret to be revealed, I think she is too. Like she is self-destructing. She, with every interview, she's alluding, like she's like telling, like she, like how sloppy she was in the beginning of this episode, like telling Lisa that she slept over at Sandoval. It's like I feel like she's ready for it to be revealed.
Then Ariana that comforts her. She's like, I feel like you getting through this breakup with James is even more role model behavior than being Miss California, and like hugs her, and Raquel cries. It's like, do you guys see why this was such a betrayal?
Yeah.
Do you guys see? Like, yeah.
So
then
like,
Raquel's, please go ahead. Get it off your chest.
Because it's just like, as much as we were like seeing how what Raquel was doing to Katie was bad, I can see the huge difference in why people were conflicted with that. Like the Katie and Raquel thing. Not for me. Like I still think it was terrible. But this is so cut and dry to me. Like they were friends. Like there's nothing getting around it. And like to see and anybody who's doubting that, all these like last 3-4 episodes of how much time they're spending, how much of like almost a big sister Ariana is to Raquel, how Raquel says out of her mouth too that it's reciprocated. It should be enough to understand that this, like, Raquel is definitely in the wrong for this as well.
Yep.
I'm tired of seeing those comments.
Me too. Sorry, I lost my place because I was so upset.
I know it is upsetting though. It really is.
Yeah, it's just really dark. It's really, really fucking dark to watch this. It's disturbing.
It really is disturbing though, because especially she's so nice to her. She's literally defending her against so many people who are trying to protect Ariana. She's like putting aside her feelings, like trying to like protect Raquel. Like it, and they keep doing it. They keep it. Like you would think at some point she'd be like, this girl's such a good friend to me. I can't even believe I betrayed her like this. Let me stop.
Right?
She doesn't.
So this next part, I want to see if I took a picture of it. So someone commented about Oh, here we go. So, okay, Raquel's in her confessional. She's like, when you compete in pageants, you have to have your whole life planned out. So she said she wanted to be an occupational therapist when she first competed in a pageant. And then she starts crying and she's like, so like my whole life was like planned out for me at a very young age. And someone commented, Besties by Bravo, shout out. I'm going to be on her podcast later this week. She says, I used to compete in my home state in the exact same pageant system. Yes, it can be disappointing to quote age out or not win, but if you are competing yearly like she did, you are more used to not winning. And on top of that, when you compete as a miss, you are a 28-year-old, 27 at the time for her, competing against 18-year-olds. That's part of why it doesn't work to continue competing past a certain age. Also, what you say you want to be, quote, when you grow up at a pageant when you're 15 years old is not what you're obligated to do. I said I wanted to go to fashion design school, and guess what? I can't even hardly sew a button straight at 34. She's using this pageant history of hers as a way to victimize herself, and I'm not here for it. It costs thousands to even compete, not to mention buying gowns, outfits, and coaching. And she had the privilege to do so, most likely without having to beg for sponsorships. I also highly doubt she was competing to earn a scholarship as so many others do. I think that was a good bit of, I didn't know I don't know about the pageant world.
I want to thank you for finding that, because I was conflicted watching it too, because as you know, I didn't do pageants every year, but I grew up doing pageants. I did a handful of pageants. I did the same pageant she did for Michigan when I was 20. And I had how I got my dress, like we didn't have money like that. So, and it's very expensive, but my mom entered me because she was trying to get me scholarships and stuff like that. And that's a great way. And then like if you do win Miss USA, they set you up in a nice fancy apartment in New York, and you get to like it opens up a lot of doors for you and stuff like that financially. And that was why I wanted to do it. I couldn't do it like the way that these women were competing. I didn't have the means to have a coach and all that stuff. I had to, like, my local dress store, I had to get talk to them because I had like a rapport with them, and they sponsored me and let me borrow that dress and stuff like that. So that user who's posting that is so true. Like she is trying to use the pageant system as an excuse for her behavior, and I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. There's something that's not, there's something with her family that she's not giving us. Like, the pageants aren't to blame. Well, because, like, her mom isn't, like, she didn't know her mom, like, isn't her mom not her mom? Like, her mom was her aunt?
her mom is her aunt.
And she, like, so, you know, there's that element of it. And then she was forced, basically, clearly, to do pageants. And so there's like that's got to be like some kind of a weird.
And she has a weird relationship with her sister, who was kept by her biological mother. So I feel like she has this weird competitiveness from doing pageants with other women, and also from like just always being chosen. Or not chosen, but like passed over for other women. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think that whatever trauma that she has had growing up with the combination of the rigorous pageant competitive world was not a good combination. I think that's where I'm kind of getting at. Like pageants and her emotional stability in like mental health or trauma combined was not a good mix.
Yeah, because like it's not just simply being in pageants. It's like that's like code for something. It's like it's like way beyond that. And I have some theories. I just don't want to share them out loud because they're very much just theories, and but it's a much darker thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that dad is always whenever they've shown her dad, I'm like, ooh, I don't get good vibes from you at all.
Oh, okay.
You know, And so it's just all of it. It doesn't make sense. There's just a whole bunch of shit fucked. And like, good point about the sister and the mom keeping the sister. And so not having the correct understanding of how dynamics should necessarily work, loyalty, you know, so all kinds of messed up. Then Tom presents Raquel with the sunglasses gift. It's like, fuck. And then Schwartz jokes. He's like, oh man, I didn't get you anything. So Raquel says, it's okay. You can give me a kiss.
Can we stop pretending?
Like,
it's,
right?
Schwartz at this point is like has practically kicked dirt on you. Like he has no interest. He has no interest in this girl. Like I've never seen Schwartz more uninterested in a woman. He's only interested in pissing Katie off. So if that's the only time he even entertains the idea of Raquel, because he's so mad that Katie still won't talk to him that he's like, oh, if I bring Raquel to Christina Kelly's launch thing, I'll definitely get a reaction out of her.
And then Schwartz is like, man, it's so nice that it's all like lighthearted with you guys, but the other people in my life, I feel vilified. Raquel goes, the people that vilify kissing? That's really fucked up.
That's like, is it?
What are you doing?
Like,
that
was a crazy statement. Like,
the way she
context,
did it too.
Like, I'm like, what?
What are you talking
like,
about? No.
The drugs are kicking in.
No, they were. Like, honestly, though, the drugs were kicking in. I could tell, I'm like, okay, whatever you guys took is actually starting to kick in. Like, I could see them all changing. I'm not kidding. Like that.
I started curious to notice on that. Yeah, I'm curious about the process of them doing their drugs like off camera. Like how do they get away with it? Does the producers like, well, you know, you guys are gonna do drugs. We're not that type of show, so we're not gonna film it. So like, go do your drugs.
Well, I think they were rolling, right?
Yeah, they were definitely
rolling and probably shrooming, the little hippie flip.
Yeah, I definitely think that they were rolling. I don't think it was any of the powdery substances. Not that vibe for that type of event.
No, because then they end up in the goddamn, I called it the drug tent with the galaxy lights, and Rachel's like peeking, and she's like, this is the best birthday. I love you guys.
Oh God, that okay. Like when you're, oh God, you're high and you're like, I love everyone.
And they're all dancing. They're like, yeah. Like, what is this?
I don't remember what Bravo account, but I'm sure you saw it too. Some Bravo account posted that scene of them like tripping out to the galaxy lights. It was like, does anybody else feel like this is like that Mary-Kate and Ashley like pizza party? Like, remember like back in the day when Mary-Kate and Ashley used to do the straight to video? I'll have to find it. And I was like, it looks exactly like that. It's like when they would like have the dance parties and then like it's like they would sing cheesy little songs like pizza, Pizza, pizza. That is what it looked like. Yes, I know the song still.
Now I want pizza, actually. That's so good. All right. James and Allie's apartment. I love that James has a cat. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
He loves his little cat. James apologizes for embarrassing her. And she's like, you embarrassed yourself. I'm like, Allie, you need to watch your mouth. She says, are you sure you're okay with the Schwartz and Raquel thing? I really do believe he is. I understand, though, that he says in his confessional, he's like, I'm just sad I'm losing my friends. You know, like my friendship with Schwartz is out the window. And with that goes Sandoval.
I really do think that he is grieving that.
Yes, because he's like, I'm fucking done with Raquel. Like, gross, disgusting, like, done. But like with that, you know, they're like, they've chosen her.
And he's the one, like, she did not know them. If it was not for James, they would not know who Raquel is. She would just be a fan that keeps showing up at events or at the different locations of Lisa Vanderpump restaurants in hopes of seeing them.
Yeah. Nope. All right. Christina Kelly's Heart Spring is the name of her line. Schwartz shows up and he goes up to Katie and her mom and Lala, and he's like, what do you guys want to drink? And Katie gives him all the attitude, and I love it.
I love that Katie did not even want to like accept a drink, but she's like, you're lucky my mother is here, so I'm gonna one word answers though.
And he's like, man, wow, I'm still in the doghouse, I guess. And I love it. Love it. You stay in that doghouse, okay?
Yeah.
You first go, you have to apologize. How have you not apologized yet?
Because he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
And yet he's like, man, I'm still in the doghouse. Well, go apologize, and you won't be, asshole. Raquel, Ariana, and Tom arrive together, and obviously Lala's like, well, see, there we go. Like, look at this. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. And Raquel, Lala calls Raquel a stupid demon. So good.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Lala has given Raquel a lot of funny nicknames, and some may say it's bullying, but they're funny nicknames, especially when she's in light of what she's done now, like Bambi died, bitch, like
yeah.
And she just says it so quick. It's the quickness for me.
Yeah, it's like it's off the cuff. Ariana pulls Katie aside to talk about the whole, Allie thing that she said. And Katie's like, what I meant was that, like, Tom likes to go out and you're more of a homebody. And Ariana's like, well, what I heard is that you said that there are no rules and as long as he doesn't embarrass me. I'm like, well, that is very different than what Katie thought she said.
Yeah.
And Ariana says, obviously, I love Raquel dearly, and she's one of my closest friends. And I not only trust and love her, but I trust and love my boyfriend. And so I understand how you feel, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, who is Raquel? Oh, I don't know her. And then Katie goes, well, I hope she's a good friend to you. I just think this is a personality thing, and I have a hard time believing that she's a shitty person to some people and not others. Oh.
I mean, she really read it correctly.
Oh my God, it's so rough.
I do but again, I think that Katie's handling it. I thought like both of them were really handling the conversation well, like because Katie could have just been like, "You're blind,
you're dumb,
you're blind.
Dumb.
You're like,
what are you doing?"
But she was like, you know what? She's not ready for this.
Yep.
I am going to still say this is my opinion. I'm not going to backtrack about it, but softly and you're choosing not to take it, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out real soon.
Mm-hmm. So then James clearly was instructed by production, like, Raquel wants to have a conversation with you. So he's like, oh, fine. So he has to go sit with Raquel. He's like, can I sit here? And right as Raquel is about to start talking, he pulls his phone out to check his hair.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, wow. He's like, yes, what do you want to say? Like, he's just so get this over with.
Yeah.
She's like, I was really hurt by your comment that you regret Rachella. And the crux of this conversation was this is how she pictured this whole thing happening with James. She pictured breaking up with James and James saying, I regret treating Raquel horribly. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. But I'm glad we had what we had together, and I wish I hadn't made a mistake. And that's what she wanted James to say. Yeah. Instead, James moved on really fast and is like, I regret ever being with her and I never loved her. And hell yeah, I regret Rachella. Fuck you, bitch. And she's like, I just feel like you shouldn't have regrets in life. And James goes, yeah, I used to feel like, yeah, you shouldn't have regrets. But then I realized you need to grow up at some point and start learning from past mistakes. And she's like, I feel like you say things just to make me feel a certain way and hurt me. And he's like, okay.
He's like, I do. But they're also true.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, well, saying that you didn't love me, hurt me, and saying that you I don't regret our relationship, James. And he's like, okay. Like, he just keeps nodding and smiling and like smirking and being like, I meant what I said. Meant everything I fucking said. And then his confessional, he's like, of course I regret Rachella. It was an epic proposal and it was wasted on you. He does not have any heart left. And then Raquel goes, I think I've grown a lot. And James, I feel like James only backtracked a little bit on this because he realized, like, I can't be too savage. But I feel like this is what I think he wanted to say. I think he wanted to be like, yeah, you have grown a lot and you're a completely different person, and just leave it there. Yeah. But then he's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't know you anymore. And she's like, that's fair. And then he's like, look, Raquel, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of where you're at. You know, you've done a lot of exploration. Yeah, I think some of that. Yeah, and that, you know what he meant by that. You know what he meant by that.
Yeah.
And some of those explorations made you happy, and some of it, you know, did not make you happy, but that's part of life. And Raquel goes like, she gets so intense here. She goes, yeah, that's part of life at this. And James, and then that is why I don't regret anything. And that is why I do everything in life. And then she smolders at him. And he's like, cool. And that's it. He's like, are we done? Scene?
Like, she is projecting. She's like, when this comes out, I need everyone to know that I don't regret anything. Like, okay, girl, if that's the light, like, you need to. We want you to. Please do not double down. We would love for you to just be like, I lost my damn mind. Like, I lost my damn mind.
Mm-hmm. She's like, this is my season, okay? Everyone's going to hate James and love me.
But it's like, again, like, I just, like, I'm not even trying to be a broken record. I'm not even trying to be a bitch towards her. I'm genuinely curious of what the fuck her end game was. Like, how did she think that she was going to, like, not be the villain? Like, I'm curious. Like, I want to know because I know Sandoval probably wrote it out, so I want to know what that plan was. Like, I know what his plan was, but, like, how was, like, I get what his plan was because he's done it before.
Yeah.
How are you gonna, like, do that? Like,
no, not good. All right. So Lala and Ariana put their goodie bags together. Lala was clearly, like, either told by production, like, I want you to talk about that barbecue where, you know, Tom left or whatever. So she's like, got it. So she goes, Ariana, you want to put a goodie bag together? So she pulls her aside and she's like, oh, I just wanted to check in. And Ariana admits that she's barely hanging on. And Lala's like, yeah, you know, you're getting a business off the ground. On top of that, you're dealing with grief. And then she perfectly segues into, I just wanted to make sure you're good because I was at that barbecue. And Tom came up to me and said, Ariana's really mad at me right now. And Ariana goes, yeah, because he couldn't get a ride. Lala goes, home to you? Ariana says, yeah, because Jason left his ride. And Lala says, don't you think he should have just gone at that time? Ariana goes, I don't think he knew he left. And Lala goes, no, he did know because I was standing there. And Ariana just calls Tom over and says to Lala, I'm not going to do this where I, like, sit and defend somebody. Yeah. Which is brilliant. So smart. Cause she's like, she can just see, like, the confessionals being spliced in and the flashbacks happening where she's like, no, he didn't. Nope. She's like, let's just. So up comes Tom, all sweaty with his shirt unbuttoned and his chest showing. He's, like, slicking his hair back. And Ariana goes, hey, so Jason said he was leaving the party and you said, no, I'm actually going to stay. And Tom says, no, Jason was like, dude, I'm dipping out. Huh, what does dipping out mean, Tom? Does dipping out mean he's leaving? Because I thought dipping out meant he was just going in the other room.
Yeah. Yeah. Which one is it?
Which one is it? And then Ariana goes, right. And then you chose to stay longer. And at this point, you can actually see James in the background. He's like listening. You can see him. He's like, I'm listening in the back. And Tom is because he didn't see this coming. He had no idea this was going to be brought up. It wasn't on camera. He's like, what? Yeah. This was forever ago. And he's like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Ariana goes, I found out that my grandma died while you were there. You know about that. And then Jason said, I'm going to leave. And then you said, I'm going to stay. And Tom says, yeah, well, I kind of figured you wanted to be alone. Ariana goes, and I was like, why can't you come home? And you said, because you couldn't get a ride. I like, this is unreal.
Yeah. Like she caught, like I was really proud of Ariana for doing that because she could have like, you know, done what they've done in the past and like swept it under the rug and like dealt with it off camera or whatever. I'm happy that that conversation got had on camera because he, unbeknownst to her, he's been on a campaign to make her look like crazy. Mm-hmm. And if that was not on camera, he would have been able to spin that narrative forever. Like, you know, just kept the lie going about like the not being able to leave and stuff like that. And her piecing it together, like saying, I never said I wanted to be alone. Like I actually said I wanted you to be here and supporting me. Like, because he would have been like she doesn't really want me around. Like, no, she's literally been asking you, begging you to come be around. And you've been actively lying to her.
Point. That's a good point, Pia. Wow, that's such a sad good point.
I'm so happy that that conversation was on camera.
Wow.
And it negates the stuff that he said in the Howie Mandel interview.
Yeah, she didn't care if I was around or not. She just didn't even care about me at all. Fucking asshole. And then this is in her confessional when she says, you know, when my dad died 10 years ago, we weren't even together. And it was like he dropped everything to be there for me. And now we've been together 8.5 years. And somehow it feels like maybe he just doesn't think I'm as important anymore.
That's crushing.
Crushing. And then Ariana points to Lala and says, she wants to know why you didn't ride with Jason. And I thought, oh, that's sad because she feels uncomfortable owning it. Yeah. She feels uncomfortable saying, I want to know why you didn't ride with Jason. So she puts it on Lala. And then Lala goes, I don't need to know. I'm not in a relationship with him. And then Ariana backtracks and realizes like, this is getting uncomfortable. I'm not supposed to really do this. And she's like, well, I was fine with the way things transpired that day. And she starts, I wasn't like, and then Lala cuts her off and goes, stop. You are okay to say you wanted him to be with you that day. And by the way, Aria, you weren't. Tom said to you that you were mad. Like Tom said to Lala that you were mad. But Ariana goes into her very practiced lying for Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she's... Yeah, and then later in the confessional it says she's so used to writing for Tom. Like, and he doesn't do it back.
And Tom lies. Tom, like, to Lala, Tom's like, no, I couldn't get a car at that point. And Lala goes, Tom, I was standing right there with you and Jason. And he's just like, well.
Yeah, he, like, has nothing. Like, he's out of lies. Like You've lied. You've got caught. You got caught in your lies. And you have nothing to say now.
Ariana goes, Tom, you literally said you didn't know Jason left because you were taking a shit. Like, you said that. Like, you lied.
Like, it was a blatant lie. Like, there's no, like, miscommunication about it. Like, he wanted to stay at the party. What she doesn't realize is that he wanted to stay at the party because of Raquel. So that's not even, Lala's not, is, like, letting her know about not everything at this point. Mm-hmm. She's just not ready. She's not ready. And I think this is, again, these are the moments that Tom are trying to use against Ariana, like in the Howie Mandel. Like, she knew. She was just avoiding.
Yeah.
She was like, it was like, we weren't like hiding it that well or whatever he was trying to say. It's like,
dude.
It's like, there's a difference between like her knowing and her knowing. You know what I mean? Like, she might have had a feeling something was off, and she might have been afraid to even explore it, because what does that mean if she does? What if she doesn't like, you know, if she finds out you are cheating, you know, what is that? What is her next move? Like maybe she's not ready for that. Like you guys have a long relationship. You own home together. Like it's not unusual for a person that's been cheated on to not be ready to face their whole life being different.
Yeah.
And that's not her fault. You put her in that position.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Then Ariana says, you realize you're putting me in a position where people will think that I'm a fucking idiot. Everyone thinks that you just wanted to hang out there for a few hours after that. And Lala goes, that's exactly what I think because that's what I saw.
Yeah.
It's so heartbreaking, that last confessional from Ariana. She's like, I ride or die for Tom, so I look like an idiot being Tom's number one stan when he's not mine. It's like, it's only going to look so much worse.
It was actually very reminiscent to Katie's confessional when she was like, I thought it was like, the pressure of being a wife and like it was like, I don't remember I'm sure you would say it better, but like that he just doesn't like me is essentially what she says. And that's so heartbreaking because it's like when they come to that realization that this person that they've been in a relationship with for so long just is not invested in the same way. It's heartbreaking. And it might be easy for us to see. We're just not in it. It's so much different when you're in it because there are moments we don't see. And so that colors their perception of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
totally. Next time, though, Tom is going to say, it's okay. So here's what's interesting is that Tom didn't expect this scene to happen where he gets busted, right?
Right.
But he's still going to play out the narrative that he's been trying to play out, which is like, Ariana just hates me. She just hates me. So he's going to say this like, I want to go somewhere cool with Ariana. But like, man, she just thinks I'm annoying. Everything I do annoys her. It's like, but we just watched you get busted for lying about, fuck you. All right, go fuck yourselves. Okay. And then he's going to stage that scene where he talks about it on the Howie Mandel thing, where he's like, I reached out to our producer and was like, we've got to start filming these honest scenes together, where we show our relationship. And now I'm like, you staged this. You staged this fucking scene acting like you don't know what it could possibly take to get your guys' relationship back on track. When she starts the whole season saying that you never see her, you're always busy, you're always gone, and you know by now that she needs to spend time with you in order to have sex with you.
Yeah. So he's purposely distancing himself because he knows that she will then distance herself sexually in order to be able to feed the narrative that she is not fulfilling him as a partner should in his mind.
Yeah.
It's all layered.
Then he's got Raquel doing some of the dirty work.
Yep.
And she is going to, at the something about her event, she's going to say to Ariana, I feel like in a relationship, you should want to have sex. And it's going to lead Ariana to say to be defensive and say I'm sorry, but if you've been working all night and you come home and just whip your dick out, I'm not going to be like, yeah, let's fuck. The fact that must be the conversation that they were saying is the crazy conversation that Raquel was willing to have with Ariana.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, so that's next week.
And then Raquel is going to go up to Katie and say, you filed for a divorce. So if I make out with Schwartz, it's none of your business. And then maybe I have more compassion for Schwartz than you.
Why? But she wants everybody to have all this sympathy and empathy for her because of her and James's engagement being broken off that she initiated. You initiated that engagement break off. So why should we give a fuck about what you think about what if James is moving too fast with Allie? You keep inserting yourself in Allie and James's relationship. You're so hypocritical. The cast keeps saying that if Sandoval didn't happen, Raquel would have come off having a good season. I don't agree.
I don't agree at all.
If Sandoval didn't happen, because I keep really trying to see if I can like look at the episodes with like out that part of it, and in some cases it's nearly impossible, but I still am able to see everything she's doing, and I don't see her as an empathetic or sympathetic character at all. Like, not that she a character, but she a person at all. She is moving to me in a very cold manner, regardless of the Sandoval situation or not.
Yep. Yeah.
Sure, I might have had moments of like, I don't want to see people hurt, but like back in Vegas when she heard them talking about her, like those moments, maybe I would have had like a little empathy towards her. But overall, I wouldn't have been like, she was the clear winner of this season.
Yeah, same. No. Mm-mm. Wow. This episode wasn't fun. We're getting into the territory where it's going to not be
I don't think
funny.
anything is going to be.
No, it's going to be hard to find humor in this. So everyone just kind of like prepare yourselves emotionally. I think last week was the last time we were going to be able to have fun with it. This is just like dark and really painful and really ugly. We're there.
We're there. And what is it? 2 more episodes, including next week, before we get to our finale.
I was just looking at that. Let me see. Okay, so here we go. We've got hold on. We have next week is just a regular episode. It's the penultimate, as they say, and then the 17th, which is the following week, is the finale.
Right. Okay, and then we have do we even know how many parts that we have? Is it 3 or 4?
We don't know yet, but they can give it 4. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with 4 too, because this is like we were talking about. I don't know if we talked about it here or offline, but like I need details.
Yeah, because Andy did sit down with the 3 of them separately, so drag it out, baby, drag it out.
And Andy did say that Peacock may be doing an extended version, so. Okay.
We're like it's just, because it is fascinating. And like the people that don't get it, it's fine. Fine. If you don't get it, then just turn it off. If you don't get it, just like look away. Like I've never seen anything like this. I've never witnessed anything like this that isn't like fiction. Like a scripted thing. So I'm blown away that we're watching it.
Yeah, I think just my annoyance of people who are like, I don't get it. It's like they just keep minimizing it, but like they don't get it's not like they don't get it, but they've seen every season and they're watching the current season and they're like, I don't get it. Then fine, you don't get it. But it's the people who have like never watched and they're like, so what? It's just an affair. It's like, well, you can't just say that if you haven't watched at all. Like,
we didn't talk about Kristen Doty on Watch What Happens Live. Did you watch?
Oh, I did watch. Of course.
She looked great.
She does look great. And I guess she's 40.
Yeah.
So, but I say that because remember, I just saw her at Universal Studios.
Oh, she did. Pia did just see her.
I saw her at Universal Studios on her birthday. She was celebrating her birthday.
Yes, that's so
yeah, because I walked into the Simpsons what is it called? It's the bar that in the Simpsons show, and they have that restaurant, and they also have a bar attached to it. And I was like, I want another margarita before I go on another ride. And I walk in, and I swear to God, I lock eyes with her. And I was like, but it was one of those things where I was like adjusting, and I was like, Kristen Doty in my head, because it's a small bar. And so then I was like, that is Kristen Doty, but she had like a posse with her. Like,
of course,
nobody that we would know. And I was standing directly behind her, and they had all gotten shots or whatever. And I think they bought it for the whole bar. Like, I had just walked in, so I didn't get one. But that's fine. But we all cheersed, and it was like, they're cheers. Like, and it was like for her birthday. She's like, it's my birthday.
Love it. I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love it for you, and I love it for us. And it was cute. At one point, Andy goes, "Are you just loving being back in the fray?" And she goes, "Yes, I love it."
She is. She
is. Yes, I love that. Yeah,
put her back on. Why not?
She's gonna be on that other. What's the show called? The Goat.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
The goat.
so what did I miss her? Because, like, remember Kristen on her stories said she had an announcement that she was going to make at Watch What Happens Live. She didn't make an announcement.
Well, I wonder if like the press release
Got moved up.
was like the announcement, and she's like, oh, I guess I don't need to make the announcement then.
That's what I was thinking too. But then she never
Yeah.
corrected it. So I was still like, wait, is there something else you're going to say to me? Like, I was like expecting her to correct it if it was that. Like, oh, sorry, guys. I was going to announce it, but I didn't realize they were announcing it before I was going to be on Watch What Happens Live. And then I was like, wait, I know that they have, sometimes they have the after extended Watch What Happens Live. I was like, was it there?
Oh, the after show?
I was like, was it there? Like,
has anyone posted? I haven't really been able to check Instagram.
I haven't seen any extended anything, but I was like,
PSL fist.
I was just like, but then I also, you know how I am. I'm like, I did go to the bathroom once, and I was like, did it happen when I went to the bathroom?
I don't know. I never know how to watch the after show.
I only ever see it if I like am scrolling on TikTok, and I actually was actively blocking any Vanderpump stuff because I remember you texting me last night saying you were gonna be like gut wrench, and I really wanted to not have any.
Yeah. I warned Pia because like the Ariana confessionals were just like, it just was a lot. It's like, it wasn't this last episode. I'm like, okay, we're getting into the territory where it's not funny. Where it's like, it's one thing when it's watching Sheena look foolish, like I have to give myself props when I saw that because I have a bunch of clips saved in my like video app thing, and when I saw the Jack clip from Will and Grace, I was like, oh my god, this is so us to Sheena when we're like, you must be dying. Like, it's funny that we can kind of like laugh about it, but when it's Ariana, backing up Raquel. It's not funny. And we're veering into the parts of it where it's like, oh God, it's too much. Her dog dies, her grandma dies, she's defending Tom and Raquel, and we know what happens. So I had to warn Pia.
And she doesn't even know that the person sleeping next to her is trying to actively tear her down. And I'm not saying tear her down by like having the affair, but drag her name through the mud while he has an affair to make her look like she is not a supportive partner, that she has made him feel belittled in their relationship and unloved, while he has not shown any of that through all of her like losses throughout this season. But Ariana hasn't been there. What? Because she's definitely she's definitely been to those stupid fucking performances of your cover band,
of your stupid show, your stupid band.
I will say this. I don't know if you caught this on when Howie was on Nick Vale. I did appreciate Nick Vale and his posse kind of making fun of the most extras. He was like, oh yeah, the manager, the person that works for you's husband is the drummer, so he's like one of the most extras. He's an extra. Oh, yeah. And I found it so funny because it was like also taking a dig at Tom and Howie. So it's like, yeah, this is all over one of the extra drummers. Like, you know what I mean?
That's cute.
I love the little dig. I know Howie probably felt it. Like, yeah, I haven't seen the show. Like, it was his response. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
He really did not know what he was stepping in.
Yeah, and I love it because you know what? We are savage and we will take you down. So anyway. All right, on that note, guys, take care of yourselves out there. Love you. Mean it. Bye. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.